Alright guys, another CyberLeak clip has just dropped, and this one is called Nudist Town. So the original clip is about 2 minutes and 30 seconds long, and it was actually decided by a community poll that pitted against 3 other options, and those options were Beach, Nudist Town, and Strip Club 2. So the site's front page currently shows Beach as the winner, but that's actually misleading. It looks like the leaker simply just drained the crypto wallets tied to Beach last night, which like pretty much skewed the numbers, but Nudist Town was the real winner. Now here's the part that matters more than the footage itself, and that is the watermark. Now it reads something like this. So does the audience want a Lucia prologue? CyberLeaks claim they're dodging story spoilers and can't make that call alone, so they're putting it to vote, and to prove fan demand, they're asking at least 10 people to physically show up outside the Take-Two and Rockstar's offices dressed like leaked characters, or just dressed like leaks, like so his whole mascot or whatever, holding game discs during business hours. Now that is a massive potential spoiler on its own, since GTA 6, GTA 6 having a prologue. So it wouldn't be shocking though, but still, Rockstar's last 2 major releases both opened that way. GTA 5 kicked off in North Yankton, totally separate from Los Santos, and then Red Dead Redemption 2 opened in the snowbound mountains, same characters, wildly different setting from the rest of the map. But yeah, so Lucia led Prologue before the game shifts to Jason fits the pattern and does line up with what we've already seen before. Lucia gets locked up at some point and Jason eventually breaks her out. But Prologue could be exactly how she ends up behind bars in the first place. So, while I'm putting this together, a new poll actually just went live on this site. So do people actually want to see that Prologue? It's a simple yes or no, open for roughly 2 days. So there's a real chance that the next leaked clip is Lucia's Prologue itself, which would actually cross a line this account has mostly avoided so far. We've gotten glimpses of Jason interacting with side characters like Cal, but nothing that spoiled actual plot before. But onto the actual clip itself, and there's no way to obviously show this footage directly, so just go ahead and bear with the description because it might be a little graphic. But anyways, yeah, Jason is pretty much like wandering. Jason is pretty much wandering a rooftop deck area with a pool at the center, surrounded by NPCs in various states of, undressed, some fully nude, some in like t-shirts or shirts only. There's dancing, there's a DJ setup, a bar, a hot tubs, the whole scene. There's random bystanders throw lines at Jason for, lurking too long, calling him out pretty much, or telling him to move along. Yeah, and there's also like, it also resembles the official Port Gellhorn screenshots Rockstar released, but just with everyone considerably less dressed. And eventually the player shoves one of the NPCs into the pool, and things escalate fast. Jason draws his gun and then open fires into the water. A prompt pops up saying local services are refusing to help him now. From there it turns into a full firefight, negative karma stacking up, and that's shown through the purple icon. And some kind of visibility meter actually in the corner that we don't have a clear read on yet, but that clip cuts off mid shootout. And then on top of the content itself, CyberLeaks quietly updated their site with a new contact and advertising section, sorry. And the page, which isn't really extortion, it's more like business. So brands that can actually pay in Monero for a private contact channel, ad placement on watermarks, or custom leaked footage custom leaked footage pretty much like built around a specific brand, including footage with even sexual content. The crypto payment is framed purely as a contact fee. Now, that's a pretty significant escalation, treating unreleased footage like some ad inventory. Combine that with the looming, possibility of real story spoilers to Lucia, and this might be the consequential leak we've seen from this account yet. I'll be watching how the new poll plays out, and see if anything new drops, and I'll definitely be first to keep you guys updated. But to me, I don't think personally he should leak anything story related, because there's literally like, what's the point of that? It just like ruins the fun for everybody else. And honestly, this guy, the reason why he's trying to make so much money now, like with all these crypto scams, is because as soon as he gets arrested, it's pretty much over for him. He's gonna most likely be in jail for like the rest of his life. But so I do see why he wants to like make as much money as possible. But still, well, let me know what you guys actually think in the comments. And if you're new here, guys, go ahead and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next leak breakdown.